Women's Affairs has underscored the importance of capacity building and human capital in boosting the gains of the tourism industry. Addressing the 10th graduating class of the Institute of Travel and Tourism of the Gambia, Madam Fatoumata Jallow Tambadang also outlined government's commitment to creating more job opportunities for young people. Ibrahima Jallow reports.
Highest employer in the country, tourism continues to provide gainful employment for more people. These mostly include an increasing number of young professionals who come into the industry with new skills and expertise, adding great value to the Gambia's travel and hospitality sector. Training has become important as the sector looks to attract a vast global market and more holiday makers. The Institute for Travel and Tourism joins effort in that mission, with more graduates than ever before. Here, the 10th alumni of the school emerges for graduation, marching into the colorful hall to obtain a run of moral lessons by dignitaries and invited guests gracing the event. Principal Sheikh Tijan Nyang disclosed that the tourism school has successfully trained over 1,000 students since inception 10 years ago. ITOC offers special career courses in travel and tourism.
The 10 years journey has not been an easy ride, but with the support of our friends, partners, both home and abroad, we have been able to make our mark in the promotion and development of technical vocational training, among other activities that help our tourism sector. The Institute has been running specialized full-time courses in tourism and hospitality level 1 and 2, tourism and travel intermediate level 2, tourism and travel advanced, higher professional diploma in travel and tourism level 4 and 5, Amadeus travel agency booking system, and cabin crew and airline.
Guest speaker Mustafa Njai highlighted the importance of the tourism sector in the socio-economic development of the country. The CEO of TAF Africa Global outlined that the sector needs preparatory work to meet the growing demand for standard and high-end service delivery. His advice to graduates was to embrace good behavior at work.
Everybody benefits. Government is foreign currency, so we cannot underestimate tourism. So for my advice, there are 3 things that I would advise you on. One is punctuality. You need to be punctual at work. Fulfill your obligation to your employers. Be honest.
At the health table, Vice President Fatoumata Jallow Tambadang and Minister of Tourism and Culture Hamad Ba both emphasized the importance of tourism for the new government as it moves to create more opportunities for employment. The country's number 2 particularly outlined the need for human capital, which he said has eroded over the years.
For the past 22 years, the human capital has. We are going to create, according to the National Development Plan, provision on tourism is one of the pillars, priority program that we want to provide.
The Gambian government have taken tourism very seriously. And that's why in the National Development Plan is a priority for government. The 5 priorities of Gambian government, tourism and culture is at center stage. But you must deliver to the standard. The TICWAL syllabus must be implemented without a compromise.
Graduates, including Verali Cassels, Usman Jallo and Binta Sow, described the day as a great accomplishment and expressed enthusiasm to explore the dynamic tourism job market. The presentation of certificates to outstanding students for different levels capped the occasion, launching the beginning of new life in the real world.
Victims of human rights violations under ex-President Jammeh and his associates have renewed their campaign to bring the perpetrators to justice. The group Saturday met with visiting Swedish parliamentarian Mamadou Malcolm Jallow. Saini Marina reports.
An emotional meeting unfolded at the Victim Center in Kololi as the visiting Gambian-born Swedish MP Mamadou Malcolm Jallow meets and interacts with the victims of Jammeh's brutality for the first time. The visit by Honorable Mamadou Malcolm Jallow to Victim Center is meant to show solidarity with victims of human rights violation by the former regime. From one victim to another, stories of incredible pain and incarceration were related before a keen gathering. This was also a moment to share and the pain and loss that still lingers. Memories of state-sanctioned violence on the citizenry, forced disappearance, torture and kidnappings.
It's quite difficult to listen to the stories, but it's important to listen to them, because if you don't learn from the histories of the past, we are bound to repeat them. These are people that deserve to be heard. Their voices must be heard. They must be given a place to speak, to tell us their stories. Most of these people that we see here are people that fought for this country. They're people that sacrificed their families, their living, their lives, so that the past government would disappear and we would have the government that we have today. So I think it is only fair that their voices be heard, their stories be told.
The Swedish parliamentarian Mamadou Malcolm Jallow, who is also a human rights activist, is looking to support the victim group and assist their justice-seeking effort.
When I go back to Sweden, I will definitely do whatever I can to facilitate any form of support that can be given to the victims and the victim center in order to be able to make their work a lot easier than it is today. Today they don't have any resources and they're struggling to survive. And the job that they're doing is extremely important. Extremely important.
Isa Jammeh was 12 when his dad was arrested and later killed by Jammeh. She is now an advocate for justice.
The visit of the Swedish parliamentarian is so welcoming, and then we really appreciate him coming over. And then he built that confidence in us that as civil society organization, we can get the justice that we are looking for, and then the truth that we want for our families, and then to have closures.
We assume and we hope that he's going to extend our voice, the center's voice, and the justice that we are looking for. There may be a nation also who are also interested to support this center.
Some of the victims at the meeting blamed the new government for the slow response in providing justice and reparation to the victims of the former president, Yahya Jammeh. Advocates here want the government utmost attention to prosecute Jammeh for his alleged crimes.
You cannot commit crimes against humanity and you continue to be free and working in the streets and having high positions in office. That is not fair. That is not justice. That is not due process. And this government is different from the previous government because it is a democratic government. And in a democratic government, you cannot let perpetrators of crime walk free. And I'm quite optimistic that the present government has the commitment to make sure that that takes place.
Yet the question remains, how long will it take to bring Jammeh and his associates to justice? Seni Marena, GRTS News.
Chasan Medical Foundation, a local charity of Gambian medical practitioners, on Saturday offered free treatment to the people of Tambana and surrounding villages in Jokadu district, North Bank region. Sally Jaju has the details.
Quality and affordable healthcare services still remains a challenge in many communities in the country. Some people travel for kilometers in very poor road conditions to seek for medical attention. It is for these and many other reasons that these young medical practitioners with diverse backgrounds organized themselves under one umbrella to embark on a healthcare crusade. As Haruna Jallow explains, this free treatment program in Tambana was the 6th of its kind since the inception of Chasan Medical Foundation.
Chasan is a foundation that try to work out and get funds and then plow it back to the communities. Only here to complement government effort, and think with this it will reduce the burden that the hospitals or the clinics are facing.
Communities like Tambana in the Jokadu district traveled 7 kilometers to Kuntaya Health Facility on a daily basis to seek for health care services. That is why the coming of Chasan Medical Foundation to this village to deliver free quality health care services has been welcomed.
We try to find places that are hard to reach, that we've seen that they need our help. We have nurses, we have 10 doctors, we have laboratory technicians, and any other specialties that we've come with.
The head of the 45-man delegation, Dr. Mamadou Lamin Jabate, described the program as a success.
It's a form of community reach-out service. We go and see people in their communities, talk to them about health issues,
especially the chronic diseases.
Queuing patiently for the free medical services, many of the inhabitants of Tambana and its surrounding villages described the assistance as a rare opportunity.
This exercise is going to contribute in a very important way, because when people understand that health is a challenging problem, in that their participation is important.
Like many beneficiaries, the Alcala of Tambana village, Lamin Jami, hailed Chosan for coming to their aid and appealed to government to provide his community with a health facility. For GRTS News, I am Sally Jaju reporting.
And now a look back on our major stories of 2017, from the institution of a Commission of Inquiry to the formation of a Constitutional Review Commission and TRRC. The Barrow administration has scored many laudable points in 2017. The success points to an accelerated move towards structural reformation and constitutional amendment. The government is particularly undertaking new reforms to root out corruption and maladministration to revitalize the country's civil service. Famara Kanye takes us through a rundown of President Barrow's key achievements and reforms in 2017.
The Gambia, one of the smallest nations in mainland Africa, with a population of just 1.9 million people, sandy beaches and a beautiful coastline. The country is described by her citizens as a smiling coast and a home for thousands of foreign nationals. Since independence in 1965, the small West African country had only changed power 3 times. Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, the first president, ruled the country from independence until 1994, when he was removed from power through a coup headed by Yahya Jammeh. Jammeh will be Gambia's second president until the 1st of December 2016, as Gambians decided through the ballot box to end his 2-decade rule, to usher in Adama Barrow as the new president of a that had gone through a complex democratization process. The new president had to be inaugurated in neighboring Senegal amid insecurity and politicization. Shortly after he had officially taken the mantle of leader, on the 26th of January 2017, President Adama Barrow arrived home. Thousands of jubilant Gambians, senior members of the government and some military officials welcomed him at the Banjul International Airport. A spectacular moment for Gambians and the first democratic transfer, capped with days of waiting after long-time leader Yahya Jammeh's refusal to leave. Inheriting a country where so many things went wrong for 22 years, President Barrow had a lot to improve to put the new Gambia on course towards a solid practice of democracy, good governance and respect for the rule of law. His first 100 days in office were surrounded with impatience, coming mainly from the masses. But Barrow was able to correct the most pertinent problems and challenges at scope and magnitude. April 6th, the first parliamentary elections were held since the inauguration of President Barrow. A landslide victory for the United Democratic Party, which won 31 out of the 53 seats. Opposition parties such as the PDOIS, GDC, PRC also came up with 5 seats respectively. An absolute majority for the United Democratic Party and a turning point for the country's nationally as the legislative and public scrutiny arm of government emerged from the firm grip of a brutal rule. On the 14th of August, the Barrow administration formulated a national consultation on the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission with support from the United Nations Development Programme and civil society groups. The new venture was a groundbreaking institution headed by the Minister of Justice to solicit the views and opinions of Gambians on the establishment of the proposed Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission in the Gambia. Some pertinent issues discussed with the public relate to the proposed objectives and functions of the TRRC. The team of legal experts went on a conducted tour throughout the length and breadth of the country, meeting prominent and key settlements to dialogue with the masses. On the 8th of September, President Adama Barrow appointed Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang as the Vice President of the Republic of the New Gambia. Madam Jallow Tambajang is a Gambian politician and activist who served in key foreign and local portfolios that once included Women Affairs Minister. 2017 comes together as a defining yet productive year for democratic reforms and establishment of a vital development structure on revealing with a categorical respect for freedom, individual rights and liberties. In President Barrow, the country now hopes to find an unyielding aspiration to lead them towards the attainment of meaningful and sustainable growth. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Famarakai.
Annual general meeting, and the theme of this year's convergence was Credit Union, the authentic difference. Louis Mendy reports.
Encourage your families and friends to join cooperative credit unions as one of the best ways to improve your socio-economic status. Babakar Juve, the general manager at the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union, told members of the Sofara Cooperative Credit Union. Juve was the guest speaker at the Sofora Cooperative Credit Union's annual general meeting. The Sofora's AGM was convened by the board to brief members on the status of the union.
AGMs are very important. These are areas when all the members come together to review the performance of the credit union during the previous year. And also laws are proposed to the annual general meeting, that is the general membership, by the board of directors to make sure they shoot with the current situation of the credit union. So basically the main objective of the AGM is to approve the financial statement, to enact or to approve also new laws that are going to help the credit union in its operation, and then generally discuss the performance of the previous year of the credit union.
The Sofora Cooperative Credit Union in Bundum Bantaba, boasting of over 300 membership, was established to give the locals a fighting chance against poverty. Daniel Mendy at the National Association of Cooperative Credit Union, the Gambia, encourages the Sofora to do everything to keep the union viable.
This AGM is the most important activity in the calendar of any cooperative credit union, because as far as credit unions are concerned, the members matters most. Not even the board of members, not even the board of directors, but the members.
Credit Union, the authentic difference, is a theme for this year's Cooperative Credit Union's annual general meeting. It tells the strength of credit unions in uplifting the socio-economic status of the grassroots. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
That takes us to a break. News and sports is up next. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. The coastal community of Bakau has completed a mini football tournament. The competition was meant to foster unity among youth in the community, and as MS Jallo reports, the games drew spectators from Gambians in the diaspora who are in the country on holidays.
Football tournament of the Bakau Reunion Festival climaxed with Central Bakau and Mamakoto contesting the final. The football tournament featuring 8 teams from Bakau is part of festivities organized by a group of Bakau youths to bring together natives of the coastal settlement, most of whom have either relocated to other parts of the country or traveled outside of the country to reconnect with their past.
When they were doing their carnival last year, I told them the best way or the best name that you can give Bakau is Bakau Kankiling. I'm very happy that this year they have used that word, Kankiling. Because in Bakau, it's only within unity that we can forge ahead.
With Bakau renowned for its passion and success in football, using the beautiful game to bring the people of Bakau together is hailed as a brilliant idea.
It's very good that let them organize themselves, because the youth, unless they know they have to come together as one, if they want us to achieve anything, especially in sports or in whatever we want, in whatever development we want, we have to come together as one.
On the pitch, Central Bakau got off to a perfect start by taking an early lead. Modu Sow scored in the 3rd minute to put his side in front with a neat finish. Central Bakau continued to dominate the rest of the first period, but couldn't extend their lead before the break, despite having some good chances to do so. Bakau Mamokoto tried to equalize in the 2nd period, but were resolutely denied by Central Bakau, who sealed the victory midway into the 2nd half, when Abdullah Sarr doubled the lead with a low strike into the back of the net. 2-0 the final score. The final was graced by some Bakau diasporans who are in the country on vacation, and they were impressed with the Bakau Reunion Festival, which is anchored on the hashtag Kankiling, a Mandinka word meaning one voice.
We felt that obviously this is something we would definitely like to support and see that they are bringing everybody together to move Bakau forward in terms of sports and development. So definitely I'm very impressed with the organizers.
I think it's massive. I mean, I didn't know most of these young people. Left the country a few years ago, and then coming back, seeing the energy, the passion for football, I think it's exciting to see.
Gasama, who coaches Nineveh Football Club, a non-league team in Birmingham, UK, was also impressed with the raw talents in Bakau.
I've been in football management in the UK with Nineveh FC. The team is doing great. Going through places now, seeing these young people, these young talented people, I think it resonates with what I'm trying to do in the UK with my own football team. And I think the talent that I've seen today is absolutely, the future is bright for this country. If this talent can be nurtured, and I think that's what the country needs right now, nurture the talent of the young people and promote grassroots football.
Prizes were awarded to some of the outstanding players, and at the end, Central Bakau were crowned champions of the 1st edition of the Bakau Kankiling World Football Tournament, with a cash prize of $10,000. Momodes Jala, GRTS Sports.
Still in sports, the 2018 Run for Africa race was successfully held in the Gambia with the theme, Questioning Development. The annual event, which is organized by Global Hands, was designed to support the community of Mandua. Modulamin Sane was there and filed this report.
Run for Africa race is one event used by officials of Global Hands to empower community development initiatives in Manduar village. The middle distance race is meant to raise funds for youth empowerment projects in the village. This year's edition was special for participants, some of whom traveled from the UK to take part in the race.
Well, this run is for Global Hands, Run for Africa, so it's raising money so youth in Africa can be mobilized and get better work experiences than they would have in the past. So it's been great to contribute to this cause. Everyone's so friendly, and particularly Mandua, and to see them have greater opportunities is something that I'd really like them to see. So it's the least I could do, I feel, particularly when everyone's so hospitable.
Just that people are so friendly, and people work so hard here, and it's just such a lovely country. I feel so welcome. I feel maybe like I'm at home from home.
The participants took off from the Gambia College and raced through the streets of Brikama to Manduar. It was an eventful day for many of the spectators who were out to watch the athletes. The team signifies an important element of the drive undertaken by the founder in support of the community of Manduar.
And we've been doing Global Hands for the past 3-4 years, mainly in the UK. And over the last 2 years, we did it simultaneously, both in the UK and in the Gambia. And the whole point of Run for Africa is about how do we pick a theme that is current to the needs of Africa? And how do we get, not only in terms of raising funds, but also in terms of creating awareness, provoking consciousness. So Run for Africa, the theme this year is questioning development, which basically means what models of development do we have? What models of development do our leaders subscribe to? And where are we heading? And let's have a critical conversation about that, about what development means and how we go about creating that development that we want. So Run for Africa is one trying to raise funds for two purposes, to set up a youth opportunity fund for the Gambia, as well as an education trust fund.
The visitors also took time to enjoy a cultural performance by the people of Manduar. Reporting for GRTS Sports, I am Modulamin Sane.
That takes us to another break, but we'll be back with the international stories right after. Don't go away. Welcome back. Recalling of Sudan's ambassador in Egypt has been seen as another dent in diplomatic relations between the two countries. And as ES Hakim reports, there have been ongoing tensions between the two neighboring countries.
Long-time friends are at odds on several issues. Sudan President Omar al-Bashir has been accusing Egypt of occupying the border villages of Halaib and Chalatin. Egypt describes such allegations as baseless. Another standoff is over Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam, which Cairo fears can reduce its water share from the Nile.
Sudan, like Egypt, refused to sign the Entebbe Agreement in 2011 and has supported Egypt's stance against the dam that can affect the two nations' water sharing. But relations turned sour after Sudan changed its stance and it stood by Ethiopia, the dam file against Egypt. Our sources believe that Sudan's reason for summoning its ambassador is because Egypt has officially called on the World Bank to be a mediator in the dam talks without informing Sudan, who claim they found this out through the media.
Egypt says it's still evaluating the situation before responding to Sudan's decision to call its ambassador. Egypt had earlier expressed concern over Khartoum's recent closeness to Qatar and Turkey, accused by Cairo of arming terrorists.
The Turkish president's latest visit to Sudan, where Bashir over the island of Sawakin to Turkey, is seen by analysts here as a possible attempt to build army base funded by Qatar to provide refuge and training to terrorists and export them to Egypt. There is also anger in Egypt because Sudan is providing refuge to many members and wanted leaders of the outlawed terrorist group, the Brotherhood.
On the other hand, al-Bashir accuses Cairo of arming rebel groups to overthrow the Khartoum government. Cairo denies these allegations.
So far, Egypt has remained silent over the recent Sudanese escalation. However, experts believe there will be extensive diplomatic activities to defuse the crisis between the two African neighbors. Yas Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.
Nearly 500,000 youngsters who sat for South Africa's final high school exam have passed and are celebrating this big moment in their lives. Among them are the matriculants from House in Cape Town, a school which educates children from impoverished communities.
Plenty of reason to celebrate at Crystal House. 46 young men and women on their way to realizing their dreams, studying at university and other institutions after achieving top marks in their grade 12 exams. They have an average pass rate of 97.8, well over South Africa's national matric pass rate of around 75%.
I'm extremely excited to have all our kids, well, most of them pass. You know, it's not easy, especially since if you understand the backdrop and the background of our kids, then you will probably understand why my excitement is as it is. I tell you, we talk about kids who come from the poorest of the poor communities, and if a child can survive, from day to day, then it is okay. But if a child can be competitive with those who have everything, then my excitement it's beyond bounds.
We are extremely happy. We are ecstatic.
Of its students. The school also caters for the kids' primary needs, such as food and nutrition, medical care, and other social services, even buying the students' school uniforms and paying for their transport to and from school. Top student Lauren Daniels achieved 6 distinctions and is only the second person in her family to finish high school.
It was a lot of work. Monday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday, school. But it paid off. Wow, I've had my best life at Crystal House, the best times of my life. I've reached the peak of my high school career and discovered talents and potentials that I didn't even know existed within me. And this school is the exact platform that kids like me.
Renadal Khan, CGTN, Cape Town, South Africa.
That brings an end to this edition of the News at 10, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Vice President has outlined government's commitment to creating more job opportunities for young people. Victims of alleged human rights violations under ex-President Jammeh have continued their campaign for justice. Elsewhere, Sudan has recalled its ambassador from Egypt amid tensions over a border dispute. And tens of thousands of South African students are celebrating after passing their high school exams. That's News at 10 with me, Fatma Tasisai. Thank you for joining us and keep watching GRTS.